You're not seeing any of that. That doesn't exist over here, bro. Everybody is just chilling over here, minding their business, bro. It's just not normal, bro. Like, it's not normal for people to be fighting in public. It's not normal for people to be arguing in public. What's up, YouTube? I am currently in my condo in Vietnam, okay? Yes, we are pretty high up. I was literally just thinking, and I was like, man, my life has changed so much for the better since I've moved to Asia. And I was like, you know what? I wish I saw a video like this a year ago, 2 years ago, or something like that. So here I am making the video, and we are going to get into why Asia, why Southeast Asia specifically. But before we do that, I want to give you guys a little background on me and tell you guys about my traveling journey and tell you guys how I ended up in this point that I'm at right now, okay? So I went on a cruise to the Bahamas. That was my first time leaving the country, but like I said, I didn't need a passport for that, so I don't even know if that really counts. It was a cruise, but my first time leaving the country, getting my passport stamped, was 2019. I went to Costa Rica, and that trip forever changed me, okay? I instantly fell in love with the place, and I knew from that point on, I had to come back. I knew I was gonna come back. I didn't know when, I didn't know how, but I knew Costa Rica was a place that I loved. And then at the very end of 2022, I went to Montreal, Canada for Halloween. I spent like a weekend there, maybe like Thursday through Monday or Thursday through Tuesday, something like that. And I had a good time there. Then in the beginning of 2023, January, February, like towards the end of January, beginning of February, I went to Europe for the very, very first time. I went to Hamburg, Germany. Then I went to Paris, France. Then I went to Madrid, Spain. And then I went to Amsterdam. And so when I went to Europe, this was the trip that really opened my eyes and showed me that there is a lot more to the world outside of the US. You know, in the US, we have this like complex where we think we are the best place. We think the Super Bowl is the biggest thing ever. We think we have the best food ever. We think we have the best places you could visit. But the more I traveled, the more I realized that this was not the case at all. I realized this was not the reality. I learned that a lot of the food was unhealthy. I learned that nobody cares about the Super Bowl, okay? If you didn't know that, outside of the US, nobody cares about the Super Bowl. People watch soccer, and that's the biggest sport, really. In India, they watch cricket. I'm telling you, nobody cares about the Super Bowl. Believe it or not, it's true. I learned that the quality of life is just different in other countries. And I learned that a lot of people don't even care to visit the US. You would think everybody wants to come there, you know, land of the free, manifest destiny, all of that. Not so much anymore, man. A lot of people are comfortable where they are. A lot of people look at the US as a joke these days. I'm not gonna lie to you. America just isn't as high on the totem pole as it used to be, shall I say. And so after I left Europe, I decided the US was not a place that I wanted to spend majority of my time in, okay? I came to that conclusion, but the thing was, I really don't know anybody, and I definitely couldn't name 5 people that I personally know that made the journey of leaving the US and sustaining a life outside of it. Nobody in my family for sure has done this. And so, you know, I would have to figure it all out on my own. And so finally, like I said earlier, I always wanted to go back to Costa Rica. And so I did that, okay? In 2023, April 2023, I think late March, early April, around my birthday, I went back to Costa Rica for the first time, and I stayed for 3 weeks, right? And the purpose of me doing this was really because I wanted to see, could I sustain a life outside of the US? I figured 3 weeks was enough time to see if I could be away from the US without any issues. And that's the longest I've ever been out the country. And yeah, so I figured, you know, 3 weeks, that's almost a month. I feel like that's as long as you could, that's as close as you could get to moving somewhere without moving somewhere. You know what I mean? A month, 3 weeks. 1 week is cool, 2 weeks is cool, but 3 weeks, you like kind of getting settled in. So when I went to Costa Rica, I personally believe that I became the best version of myself that I've ever been, all right? One thing you learn, like, as you travel is a lot of times the people with the least are the happiest, and the people with the most are the unhappiest, okay? I remember being shocked when I was in Costa Rica because I didn't see any name brand. I didn't see a lot of, you know, in the US or Atlanta, it's like this whole self-employed or entrepreneurship, or it was none of that. The highlight of these people's day, every single day, right, was around 5 o'clock. Around 5 o'clock, the whole city would come together. I was in Jaco Beach, Costa Rica. The whole city would come together and everybody would just watch the sunset every day at 5 o'clock. And it was a beautiful sunset. But this was the highlight of these people's days. And I came to appreciate that. I love that sunset, and I miss that sunset, and I miss that type of culture where people were just living life. People only cared about their family and only cared about the sunset. Like, it was just crazy, man. And you know, in the US, people get caught up in all this other stuff that don't matter. People get caught up in social media, people get caught up in music, people get caught up in entertainment, people get caught up in TV shows, Netflix, a bunch of distractions and things that don't matter, man. It's just different, man. Everybody isn't trying to go see the sunset in the US. That's not the highlight of everybody's day. Everybody's trying to get a bag and all that stuff, but all that stuff gets tiring after a while, you know what I mean? And so when I was in Costa Rica, I was waking up like 5 in the morning every other day. I was running on the beach, I was going to the gym, I was in excellent shape, my diet was amazing. I didn't need a car at all because everything was in walking distance, and I do mean everything. Restaurants, convenience stores, grocery stores, clubs, the gym, whatever you could possibly need was in walking distance from my condo that I was staying at. I hardly used social media during these days. I wasn't even watching YouTube videos. I really wasn't even on my phone that much. I was really just very, very present. I was very close to God. I was reading my Bible every single day, praying every single day. Everything seemed perfect. Like, everything seemed perfect. And then once the 3 weeks was up, I honestly did not want to leave. But this trip was my confirmation that I could indeed live outside of the US. All right, and that's all I needed. I needed to know without a doubt that, okay, I could do it. So that 3 weeks taught me that I could definitely do it. And it's so funny, when I got back to the States, all I could think about was leaving again. I just couldn't wait to leave. I'm like, when I got back, I'm like, man, this is not the place for me. I do not belong here. I know I don't belong here. I know that this isn't my home. I mean, I know that this isn't, it just wasn't me anymore. I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in with the ideologies. I didn't fit in with the lifestyle. It just wasn't for me anymore. And then when I got home, I remember I was thinking, like I said earlier, the people with the least are often the happiest. And so when I got home, and I remember looking, I had so many pairs of shoes, I had so many hats, so many t-shirts, I had a bunch of stuff that at one point in time I might have thought was valuable, but it really meant nothing, okay? And you know, I was gone for 3 weeks, and so I was honestly disgusted with myself. I'm like, bro, I have, like, if you are an American, right, I want you to just go into your closet and look at how much stuff you have. I guarantee you have over 5 pairs of shoes. Why do you need 5 pairs of shoes for, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? You really don't, bro. You need like some sneakers, maybe some dress shoes, something to work out in, and then another pair of shoes, like some sandals. Like, you really don't need all this stuff. You don't need 20 t-shirts. You don't need 12 pairs of jeans. And so when I got back from Costa Rica, I was disgusted with myself. I'm like, why do I have all this stuff? And not just clothes, like I had devices. Like, it's just like, bro, we just have so much in the US, like, that a lot of it we don't even use. We just buy stuff And even like, I remember like when Christmas came, I'm like, bro, I really don't even want gifts anymore, because it's like I already have everything I could possibly need. I don't need anymore, you know what I mean? It's just stuff accumulating. And so like I said, I was gone for 3 weeks, so I figured if I didn't need any of this stuff for 3 weeks, I really don't need this ever. So I got a trash bag, and you know, I donated the things that I felt were still useful to other people, and everything else I just started throwing away. I stopped buying more stuff. I didn't need anything else, you know what I mean? I already had everything I could possibly need. Like I said, I was gone for 3 weeks. A lot of the stuff I didn't touch. I'm like, bro, I know I don't need it. And so now we're getting full circle, okay? So just bear with me. So at this point, my mindset completely shifted, okay? And I knew I had to figure out how to get out of the US. I was determined to make a way for myself. I still had absolutely no idea how I was going to do it long term. I had a few ideas, but it was just kind of still up in the air. Nothing was in concrete, you know what I mean? And then so fast forward to last year, I was on Instagram, and I might have saw a video where this guy or this girl was just talking about living in Bali. And they was talking about the cost of living in Bali and what you get for X amount of dollars. And I'm like, bro, there's no way. Like, this just gotta be like a scam or something. And it was just showing like beautiful villas, nice pools, walking to the beach, mopeds, communities, like all of this stuff for like $600 a month. I'm like, bro, there's no way that this is happening right now. So I immediately went to Airbnb to do some research. And bro, it was all true. And it blew my mind. I said, whoa, I can have this. I could live here for $600 a month, $700 a month. Like, my mind was completely blown. I couldn't believe that the videos that I was seeing on Instagram were true. I couldn't believe that it was really a place in this world that I didn't even know about, where you could live like this. Like, I would love to live, like I would want to live. Like I said, I was in Costa Rica. I like the beach. I like being beachside. I like that type of stuff. For $600, $700 a month, I'm like, man, I could figure out how to make $1,000 a month to live. I could figure out how to do that. So I remember, like, immediately I began showing my mom, my dad. I'm like, yo, look at this. Like, look what you could get for X amount of dollars for a month. Like, this is actually like crazy to me. I'm like, man, I'm really considering doing that. I remember telling them that. And then one day, I woke up, I came across these condos in Malaysia. And that same day, I literally said, you know what? Today's the day, man. I bought my flight. I bought a one-way. I still don't even have my return flight home. I literally just bought a one-way. I booked the condo for 3 months. And I said, we going. I didn't even tell anybody about this. I didn't tell anybody for like another month. And I still didn't tell a lot of people until like the day of, when I was about to leave. I told myself that I would start a YouTube channel. I'll give it 3 months and I'll see what comes out of it. But I still didn't tell anybody. And so as time went on, I began telling my family and my friends, because, you know, I wasn't trying to keep it a secret, but I wasn't just volunteering the information. So if somebody asked me like, hey, you know, cause I do travel, so people would ask me like, yo, what's your next destination? And I'm like, man, I'm actually about to move to Malaysia. You know what I mean? People are like, what? That's crazy, Malaysia? Why Malaysia? Blah, 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 this and third. And then before I knew it, man, it was time. It was time to go. So in the last few days in Atlanta, of course, I spent it with my family. I spent it with my friends. And still, like, I'm talking about the day before I left, I'm still telling people like, yo, I'm moving to Malaysia tomorrow. Like, crazy, like, you know what I mean? I don't know why I wanted to keep it to myself so bad, but I did. I wanted to keep it to myself, and I did that, you know what I mean? And so the day came, I made one final pit stop to LA. I hung out there for like a day or two, and then I made my way to Malaysia. And so all of that led to this exact moment. Okay, here I am in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, and I've been in Southeast Asia for almost 5 months now. I have a YouTube community with a lot of cool people, a lot of cool subscribers. People are watching, and life is going pretty well, I can't lie. Okay, man, so now that you guys have a little more background about me, my journey, and how I ended up in this beautiful country, let's talk about all of the perks and all of the changes, and why I say that this is your sign to move from the USA to Asia, okay? So we can start with talking about personal and mental growth. The amount I have grown as a person is insane. I promise you, you would not believe. But you can probably imagine, like, yo, if you move to a different country, bro, you have to change as a person. Everything that you've known and everything that you've learned and all of the customs and the traditions and stuff, actually, I'm about to sit over here. It's completely different. You know what I'm saying? Everything is changing. Now I'm gonna walk. Everything is changing. So both personally and mentally, I've grown on completely different levels. You know, personally, I allowed myself to try new things that I've never tried before. Something that it might sound kind of silly, right? But like sunny side up eggs, I never tried that before in my entire life. I never even thought that I would try that. But I was in Bali one time and I ordered some mee goreng, I think that's how you say it. And I actually liked it. It was actually pretty good, but that was the first time I tried that. But that's just one example of me growing personally, you know, and me moving to this place forced me to grow as a person and get out of my comfort zone and try a bunch of new things. And as I traveled here, I learned so much about myself, okay? I learned what's important to me. I learned who is important to me. And et cetera, okay? It's things in my life that I thought I cared about that I didn't really care about. Like shoes, like, bro, I wear sandals everywhere I go now, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, you know, I was like the sneakerhead type of guy, you know, Jordans, all this other stuff. Bro, I wear sandals like 85% of the time, you know what I mean? The things that you used to think is important versus the things that are actually important, it's a big difference, okay? And you know what's so crazy? The other night, I was ordering some food, and the driver messaged me, and he was like, I guess you can see like my picture or something like that, but he was like, do you have any currency from your country? I didn't know what he was talking about at first, but then he explained it. He was like, I collect foreign currency or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. Well, I said no at the time because I didn't, but I asked my brother, and he was like, yeah, I got $1. And so I went to go pick up the food, and I gave him a $1 bill. And I promise you, this is what he said to me. He said, wow, that's amazing. Like, he was like genuinely and wholeheartedly appreciative of that, okay? Like, genuinely, like, he said, wow, that's amazing. And it just blew my mind, because I'm like, man, you know, so many people in America, so many people would not cherish a $1 bill, right? So many people would see that like insignificant, but to him, that made his whole entire day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang, $1 can change somebody's whole mood like that, man. And I don't think it was necessarily like the value of the dollar, but just either way it goes, it was a $1 bill, and he really appreciated that, and that just stuck out to me. But the more you go in life, you realize it's really all about perspective, okay? It's all about perspective. Something that you might not consider to be important might mean the world to somebody else. Something that you might have considered important later in life may mean absolutely nothing to you. And then mentally, I was able to find a new level of peace. Like, how can you not, like, just look at the vibes here, bro? Like, I'm just chilling, walking around right now. How could you not be at peace? How could you not be comfortable? And you know, it was harder to find this peace like in America. Like, it's places like this, but not really though, you know what I mean? If you do find something like this, it's probably gonna be pretty expensive, you know what I mean? But you can find peace of mind for little to nothing. You could just be chilling. You could be around nice plants, nice people, nice restaurants, nice coffee shops. You could be around all of this stuff for a reasonable price, you know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with America. Although it is nice locations in America, but it's expensive. And even if it's not expensive, it's still like, it's just different, you know what I mean? But also, leaving America allowed me to escape the rat race, okay? And you know, America is literally like, it's like a hamster wheel. You get just enough money to survive, but then you gotta spend that money to live. And now it's like a cycle. You get money, but then you gotta spend the money, and then you get the money again, then you gotta spend the money. It's just like it's just a cycle. It's just like a hamster running on a wheel, and it's hard to get ahead. And you know, unless you take a risk. But the way America is set up, if you just go to school, go get a job, you pretty much gonna be in that rat race, trying to get to the next level. And the thing is, in America, it's not really like satisfaction isn't a common thing, right? People always want what's next. But the thing is like, bro, if you, like J. Cole got a song called Love Yours. Until you love yours, bro, like, it really don't make a difference. You're never gonna find happiness. You gotta be happy with what you have and settle at that. But if you keep trying to chase and chase and chase and chase and chase, bro, you're never gonna find happiness, you know what I mean? So yeah, it feels good to be able to forget about the money, forget about the careers, forget about the rat race, and just enjoy life and be happy, you know. And that's what it's really all about. At the end of the day, that's what everybody wants, you know what I'm saying? People are looking for ways that they think will make them happy, and maybe those things will, but maybe those things won't. But either way it goes, most people are just like seeking happiness in one way or another. And even like right now, I woke up, I'm just walking around right here. Like every single day I wake up, man, and I'm able to just do whatever it is that I want. I'm able to just walk around, I'm able to go get coffee, I'm able to get some fruit, I'm able to make a YouTube video, I'm able to whatever I want to do, man, you know what I mean? And it's no pressure. I'm just chilling, bro. Like, it's just, you know, it's a weight lifted off your shoulder, you know what I mean, when you can escape the rat race. And, you know, right now I'm talking about like the mental aspect, and bro, being able to walk around and not have to worry about anything, that level of peace of mind, bro, is priceless. It's 11:30 in the morning right now, so it's obviously daytime, but even if it was nighttime, I would still be able to walk around just like this with no worries, okay? That level of peace of mind, bro, is priceless, you know what I mean? And I would do anything for that, and I don't want to lose that. And because you got that level of peace of mind, bro, and it alleviates so much worry, and you can use that energy that you would spend worrying and stressing, you can use that into putting it into something creative and creating something for the world that could benefit the world, like these videos. I'm able to put my energy, my time and effort into these videos, and I could show it to you guys, and you guys could open up your mind. I can influence you guys or inspire you guys to chase your dreams or do whatever it is that you want to do, man. And then next we got the cost of living, okay? If you guys watched my previous video, and if you haven't, you definitely need to check that out. That video is a really good video, a lot of really good talking points, a lot of really good content. But bro, the cost of living here, man, is incredible. You see that big building, man? To find this in America, bro, it would be a challenge. Come on, look at that, bro. You feel me? Like, bro, how could you not love it here, bro? Like, how could you not love it here, bro? Like, be for real, bro. In my last video, I went into details about the cost of living. I broke it down, and I showed how different cities in America, like the most popular cities in America and the most popular cities in Southeast Asia, how the prices differ, and how it's way cheaper to live here. Like, it's like, you can look it up, you can Google it, or you can just watch the video and you'll see for yourself. Like, it's so much cheaper to live here than America. I mean, I'm not just talking about just the housing, I'm talking about the food, the housing, the transportation, the travel, the services, like everything is cheaper, you know what I mean? Everything is more reasonable. And this is the beauty of it, okay? Although the price is less, the quality is not less, right? And a lot of times the quality supersedes that of America. Like, it's way, like, the food here, the fruit here is so fresh, the food is so fresh. And America, it's so easy. Like, right there, he's over there, I think those are like coconuts. Like, bro, right over there, I think it's, maybe they're making like ice cream or like smoothies or slushies or something like that. It's some more coffee, like right over there. Like, and this is like, look how, like, and I just tripped, but I didn't know any of this was like, I'm just walking around, right? I didn't purposely walk here to show you guys that point, but like, look at this, like, it's access to fresh fruit right here, access to coffee, access, like, right here, you know what I'm saying? And this is everywhere in Vietnam, and a lot of places in Southeast Asia is like this, but right now I'm in Vietnam. But bro, it's access to this fresh stuff, fresh ingredients, and it's inexpensive. And look at this, bro. Like, I'm just saying, like, bro, y'all gotta really understand what's going on. You feel me? Like, I lived in the US for all my life, bro. I'm telling you, this is the place to be, man. The cost of living is incredible. the price you pay for this type of stuff, man, you can't beat it anywhere else. And like I said, watch my last video and I go more into detail. I don't want to do too much repeating of information, but I go more into detail in the last video, so make sure you check that out. For example though, when I was in Bali, I stayed in Bali, I want to say for like 4 nights. I had a really nice flat, I think is what it's called. Very nice, had a front, like not a porch but like a front yard basically. Really big, looked like a king size bed, man. It was walking distance to the beach, maybe like a 10-minute walk. Restaurants, bars, whatever you could possibly need, clothes, convenience stores, like everything. And I paid, I want to say like less than $200. I think it was like maybe $190 or something like that, but about $200 for 4 nights in Bali. You know what I mean? That's, bro. And what I was staying at, and you gotta imagine, this was something like really nice. If I wanted to be like humble and stay in something less, I could. For 4 nights, I could probably stay for like, I could find somewhere to stay for like $75, $80 if that's what I wanted. But you know, I wanted to get something nice, you know what I mean? And then even this meal I had, I think it's called mee goreng, but this was about $3. Like, this is what $3 can get you in Bali, okay? Good food. And then when I stayed in Malaysia, Borneo, I stayed there for 3 nights, and this was about $121. And this was walking distance to the beach, rooftop pool, all this type of stuff for $120 for 3 nights, man. In America, $120 won't even get you a nice hotel, you know what I mean? For 1 night, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna pay at least like $145, something like that, man. And if you do find something for $120, it's not gonna be this, okay? It's definitely not gonna be this. And the list goes on. I stayed in some very nice places for a reasonable price. And if you guys want me to do a price breakdown of how much it costs to live here, let me know and I can make a video on that. Just drop a comment, man, let me know. And then another thing I love about Southeast Asia is the people here are very friendly, okay? Different places, I want to say people are like, everybody's friendly, but for example, in Bali, people were more approachable. They're walking up to you, speaking to you, saying hello, smiling. In Vietnam, people are more like standoffish, but the minute that you smile at them, they're smiling right back. You know what I mean? It's no bad blood or anything like that. It's all love. And I remember even when I was in Bali, I went to a convenience store for all of 6 minutes, 7 minutes, right? But when I came back the next day, the guy working there remembered me.
Guess what? Can I help you?
You have a good memory.
Hey, you should get the wine today?
Yeah, I want some wine, man. And even when I was there for 6 minutes, they were being super nice, super friendly. You wanna say hey?
Hey, Joshua.
But when I came back the next day, the guy working there, he remembered my name as soon as I walked in. And that just blew my mind, because I'm like, man, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was not expecting that. That's not what I expected. But the fact that was the reality was crazy, and it really blew my mind, and I really appreciated it. And although that's a small thing, and you might say, okay, somebody remembered your name, but that's a big deal when you're in a continent where you are across the world and you don't know anybody. Like, the small things you appreciate, you know. Yeah, somebody remembered my name, that's cool. And then, you know, my YouTube is a perfect example of community. My YouTube is a perfect example and a representation of the people of Southeast Asia. If you go through my videos, if you read the comments, you will see the support I get from Southeast Asia. You will see the comments that these people leave on my videos, because these people are genuinely kind people, like wholeheartedly kind people. But yeah, the people here are just so welcoming, and I would have never guessed it was going to be like this. Like, I promise you, I rarely feel like the oddball. It's just, people might be curious about me, but like, bro, I be chilling, bro, and it's all love. Everybody just shows love wherever I go. It's just all love, you know what I'm saying? 95% of the time. And then outside of that, you know, it's very easy to meet people here. You know, whether you go to a local gym, whether you join like Muay Thai like I joined, whether you go to like bars or like the nightlife, whether you go to coffee shops, other social gatherings, it's a ton of stuff to do here. A ton of stuff to do, and it's so easy to meet people. Since I've been in Vietnam, like, I'm telling you, every single week I meet at least 5 people. Like, I know so many people in Vietnam now. And I haven't been out here for long. Like, you guys have been watching the YouTube videos, you guys know exactly how long I've been out here. And depending on the area, there's also large amount of expats, okay? So you could go to a gym, you could go to a coffee shop, and you will find a lot of like-minded individuals. Whether you do art, whether you do music, whether you make YouTube, you will find other people within your community in these places. You know what I mean? And that's really cool. I think it's very easy to find like-minded individuals. When I was in Japan, I was in Tokyo for maybe 3 or 4 days. I met so many people, like so many people. It's hard not to meet a lot of people. I'm telling you, a lot of times, like these people just come out the woodwork, and you know, whether you're trying to or not, you're gonna run into people. And yeah, man, so community is no issue at all. And then, as I mentioned earlier in this video and in my previous video, the safety here, bro, I cannot stress that enough. The safety here is incredible. It's incredible, bro. I cannot stress that enough. Personally, that's my favorite part of living in Southeast Asia. Just the fact that you're very, very safe. And depending on where you are in America, it's hard to fathom what I'm saying, because certain things you think are normal because it happens so often, but when you go to certain other places and you understand, like, it's not normal to not be able to walk around with a camera. Like, you should be able to do this. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do this. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to just walk around with a camera and be worrying about if somebody is going to take it or not. You should feel safe, like it's your stuff. But in America, unfortunately, that is not the reality. So outside of cost of living, that's probably my personal favorite part of living in the Southeast Asia. It's just so safe, man. And like I said earlier, right now it's 11:30 in the morning. If it was 11:30 at night, if it was 2 o'clock in the morning, I would still be out here making this video, and I would still not be worried. I would still just be chilling, you know what I mean? Because it's that safe here. And you know what, what's so funny to me? Like, every day I get on the internet, right? I get on like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and I see people arguing in a parking lot, fighting in a parking lot. I see people fighting in restaurants. I see people fighting in grocery stores. I see people arguing and fighting on airplanes. I see people getting robbed. I see all this type of stuff. And every time I see one of those videos, man, I just think like, bro, that is not happening over here, okay? And I am so thankful that I got away from that. Like, bro, you will never see that. It's like, I'm telling you, like, you're not gonna be on a plane and see people fighting over here, bro. You're not gonna be in the grocery store and see people fighting. Like, that's just certain, you're just not gonna see that type of stuff. You're not gonna see people in a parking lot fighting, and then somebody pull out a firearm. You're not seeing any of that. That doesn't exist over here, bro. Everybody is just chilling over here, minding their business, bro, and just chilling, bro. Like, it's none of that. So whenever I see those videos, bro, it amazes me, because like, when you're from there, that stuff happens so often, it becomes normal and it becomes accepted. But when you leave and you're just looking back at it, it kind of just blows your mind, because it's like, how are people even acting this way? What is going on? Like, it's just not normal, bro. Like, it's not normal for people to be fighting in public. It's not normal for people to be arguing in public. Like, I haven't even, bro, y'all are out here with me walking around, right? And you was out here with me the last video just walking around. You don't hear people raising their voice, yelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's yelling, nobody's arguing. Like, bro, it's just good vibes. Like, none of that is happening. And, you know, a lot of times this like leads me to just think, I'm like, man, you know, I have to go back and visit my family. I wonder how I'm going to adapt to that transition of going back to where I'm from, because unfortunately I can't just walk around like this with a camera, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I have to pay attention to my surroundings and make sure this person isn't doing this, and watch my back. And I'm like, dang, like I've been away from that for so long. I wonder how it's going to be going back to that type of life. But it will just be visiting. I'm not staying in America long term. That's over with. Yeah, and so I'm honestly not looking forward to like experiencing any of that stuff. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder and all that. I'm not excited for that, but I am interested to see how I adjust after being away for so long. And so like the opportunities that are in Southeast Asia. If you're watching this video, this is the perfect example of opportunity, okay? A few months ago, you didn't know me, I didn't know you, but now we know each other, and that's opportunity. That's just me moving here. I was able to start this YouTube channel, and now I was able to grow it, and now you're watching me, and I appreciate you, and I love you for that, and I'm thankful for that. But this is just opportunity. Like it's and you don't, sometimes like when you're in America, you don't understand that it's opportunity elsewhere. You don't understand that you can go somewhere else and people will embrace you, right? I have a friend that's also from Atlanta, close to where I'm from, but he's a DJ here, and international DJ. Like you that's something you don't think about, but he's doing something every single weekend. He has an event tonight that I'm probably about to go to, but every single weekend he's DJing somewhere. He's networked here, he knows a lot of people, and that's just one thing. And whether you are a musician, whether you are a DJ, whether you paint, whether you do content creation, whether you do YouTube, there is a completely different market. All right, it's a completely different market out here that they will gravitate towards you because you're different. You know what I mean? It's different. And so your art style might be normal where you're from, but if you come over here, it's completely different from everybody else's, and they might embrace that. You know what I mean? So it's opportunities everywhere in the world, okay? Especially Southeast Asia. And that's a pharmacy right here. We're gonna get to that in a minute, but pharmacy, remember that. And then so outside of like the creative stuff, like the DJs and all that, I meet a lot of people that work remote. So a lot of people that work remote jobs here. And if you find a remote job based in a high-paying area like the US, and they allow you to work in Vietnam, they do honk horns out here a lot. But if you find a high-paying job that allows you to work in Vietnam, bro, that's remote, you are set. I'm telling you, that is the best thing you could do. Because what can be making a US salary while living with lower cost? This could be your office right here. Some tables out there, that could be your office. And then you have the ability to travel. It's just completely unmatched. So if you can find you a remote job that allows you to work in Southeast Asia, you're winning, trust me. And so, and if you're watching this video, I assume you are probably somewhat interested in traveling, right? And the travel here is also, you can't beat it, okay? I've been here for almost 5 months now. I've been to Bali, Indonesia. I've been to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I've been to Malaysia, Borneo, Sabah. I've been to Tokyo, Japan. I've been to Osaka, Japan. And now I'm in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. The fact that everything in Southeast Asia is in such close proximity, it makes it so easy to travel, okay? Unbelievably easy. There are so many beautiful beaches, beautiful skylines, beautiful cities, beautiful people, and fun nightlife. It's literally never ending, and it's very affordable. Also, the cool thing about all these countries is they all have their individual cultures. So when you travel, you'll realize that no two places are completely alike. The people in Bali are much different from the people in Vietnam. You could have a dish like mee goreng in Bali, but it tastes completely different in Malaysia. You know, the cultures is just completely different everywhere you go. And being that I'm not from here, everything is just an adventure, and everything is just amazing to me. Like, me just walking around amazes me every single day because I've never seen this stuff in my life. You know what I mean? The simplest things, just walking down a random street, looking at the stores and looking at how the people are interacting with each other. I've never seen any of that before in my life, so all of that is amazing to me. And then, like I said, all of these places have, you know, their own culture, so it's honestly hard to pick a favorite. If you ask me what was my favorite, I really couldn't tell you because every place is completely different. And this also encouraged me to learn new languages when I got here, okay? And so I might not know everything, but I have learned a little bit of Vietnamese. I have learned a little bit of Japanese. And yeah, so I'm able to communicate a little bit on a basic level, but like I said in the last video, people still appreciate that, and that goes a long way. And then as far as like health and wellness goes, right? Fortunately, I haven't needed to go see a doctor or anything like that, but I've heard the healthcare system here is very, very affordable. And especially Thailand. I heard Thailand is one of those places that is well known. People travel from all across the world to experience their healthcare. And I may make a video. Hopefully I won't need to, but maybe I'll just go do like a little checkup, or maybe I'll go to the dentist or something like that. I'll make a video just so you guys can see how the process works here, and how much everything costs. Oh, and then like I was saying earlier, that pharmacy I had just walked past, it's pharmacies everywhere, you know what I mean? And even like right now, like, yeah, I'm in like a nice little spot, but even on like the main streets, it's still pharmacies over there that you have access to. And like on every single street, it's crazy. I see pharmacies like quite often here. I don't know why they're so popular here, but there are quite a lot of pharmacies. And then outside of like healthcare and stuff, even the obesity rate is much, much lower in Southeast Asia than it is in the US, okay? People are like outside, as you can see. Everybody's outside. People are walking around. I'm walking around. Even like at the end of the day, like 5, 6 p.m. when people are getting off work, everybody is going to, like, everybody, like this place right here, it is so many people here that are just walking around. They play games, like it looks like badminton, I'm not sure, but they be out here playing games. But yeah, people are always at the pool exercising. People are always at the gym exercising. Like, it's not too often you just see incredibly obese people. Like, you hardly see that here. And I think that's also cool. Like, it's very easy to be healthy here if you want to. And then like I was showing you guys earlier in the video, it's fresh fruit, it's fresh food. Like, the food choices are amazing. Like, you can, in my opinion, they are much better than the food choices in America. The fruit tastes better. You can walk into a grocery store, like even like where I live at right now, it's probably like 5 convenience stores you can go into and get some fresh fruit that's very, very tasty. And you know, it's not like the seedless watermelons or anything like that. It's the real deal watermelon. They got yellow watermelon, they got red watermelon, they got fruits, they got vegetables. Like, and it's just walking distance, and it's cheap, you know what I mean? Very affordable. Even the smoothie shop, like, you can get a smoothie decent size for $2, you know what I mean? It's just unbeatable. Like, you can't, like, you just can't beat it, man. And then like I mentioned earlier, this breeze feels amazing right now. But like I mentioned earlier, the cultures, right? It is very culturally rich. Every single country has their own culture, and it's completely different. So if you're in Malaysia, for example, Malaysia is a big Muslim country. So you're gonna see celebrations and holidays, and you might see fireworks on a random Thursday. You might not know what's going on because you are from America and you're not Muslim, but their culture is different. They celebrate things differently. And when you go to Bali, you might see people in like certain costumes or ethnic costumes, celebrating their culture and their heritage, and you might not understand it, but that's their thing, you know what I mean? It'll be a random day to you, but to them, this is a very important day. They might be having ceremonies, they might be dressing up in their culture costumes, and all of that type of stuff. And all of these countries have their own dishes. Like Bali has mee goreng, Vietnam, they have pho or pho, Japan has sushi. Like, every place has a rich culture. Because it's so culturally diverse, this also leads to extensive learning opportunities. Like I said, I learned different languages. Like, I learned Japanese, I learned Vietnamese, and I was able to learn about a lot of different cultures. Like, for example, I didn't know Malaysia was made up of so many Chinese people and so many Indian people. I would have assumed that it was only Malaysia or Malay people, but nope. There's a lot of Chinese people there, there's a lot of Indian people there, so it's a lot of Indian restaurants, a lot of Chinese restaurants. So I had a lot of different foods, and this was just stuff I didn't know, and stuff that you don't know because you don't learn this type of stuff in school in America. You don't learn about the Malaysian culture in America. You learn like maybe wars, but you don't really learn about the culture. But when you get over here, you learn the traditions of these cultures. You can try their foods and all of that type of stuff. Another example is in Japan. People are so respectful there. I didn't know that, you know what I mean? No shoes in the house. On the train is no talking on the phones. People mind their business. People are very, very quiet. Even like here, you don't see, just listen, you don't hear a lot of people yelling. It's not super, super loud. It's a lot of cars and things like that. But people are very quiet, very respectful. Like that's just the culture of Asia in general, in my opinion. But like I said, all of this was new to me and it was a great learning experience. And so if you want to know how to make all of this a reality, right? I would say, you know, you got to do your research. You don't have to, because me personally, I didn't do too much research, but I'm good at figuring stuff out. And so I just kind of came and I figured I would figure it out as it goes. So I promise you, bro, I didn't watch any YouTube videos or anything like that. I would have loved to like watch like a video like this last year or something like that, but that's why I'm making this video now. Okay, so you guys can watch my videos and you can learn for yourself. You can find some tips for yourself. And so yeah, man, research will definitely help, but don't feel like you have to have it all figured out before you make the move. Okay, I didn't do much research, but research can definitely be beneficial to you. And as far as like housing go, I would recommend Airbnb, right? Airbnb, you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to worry about like Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about anything. You can do everything. It's a one-stop shop. And I've learned that finding good Airbnbs and good locations at a reasonable price is a skill, right? And I have that skill. So I will make a video explaining the best way to find these Airbnbs and find these good locations so you can get something like this for a reasonable price. What I'll probably end up doing is just making a video as well, like just talking about all of the cost of living here. And if that's something you guys would be interested in, just let me know. Like I said, any questions that you may have, man, just let me know. I'll make some more videos explaining everything. But I can say, as far as costs go, your most expensive cost is going to be the flight. All right, the flight is going to be like $700 to $1,000 depending on where you are coming from in America. But here's the thing, right? In America, you might spend $500, $600 on a flight within the States, but you have to pay a lot for the Airbnb and you have to pay a lot for like food and activities and stuff. Here is the opposite. You might pay a lot for the flight, but the activities, the Airbnb, the cost of living is extremely low. So it's like opposite. But yeah, the flight is going to be your biggest expense. I could tell you that. That might be $700 to $1,000, but the Airbnb for like a month is going to be cheaper. Your food going to be significantly cheaper than America. Going out, buying drinks, whatever you want to do with your life, I'm telling you, everything's going to be cheaper here. The most expensive thing will be the flight. And there's airports everywhere. You can get to an airport fairly quickly, okay? So you don't have to worry. If you need to leave tomorrow for an emergency, you can do that. If you need to leave today for an emergency, you can do that. People could come visit you. It's not an issue at all, right? And then like I was saying, this leads me to my last point, like the financial benefits of living in Southeast Asia. I'm telling you, I can't stress this enough, man. This is the place, in my opinion, if you can figure out how to get, like I said, a remote job or figure out how to access US funds, you can take the fast route to getting rich, okay? It's impossible not to save money here. The food is cheaper, the activities are cheaper, and then, you know, me personally, I like to travel. I like to live kind of nice, you know what I'm saying? I like to live in something like this, you feel me? But if you are on a mission and you want to save and stack as much money as possible, you can actually live in something like this, but it'll be an hour or two away from the main city, but it will be extremely cheaper, okay? You can still be, you know, 15th floor, 20th floor, something like that, but the cost will be cheaper. It just might be a little bit more boring, might be less people, might be less to do, but if that's cool with you, then, you know, it's no big deal. But you can do something like that and you can save a ton of money, okay? I could really go on and on and on and on and talking about how great it is here, man. But I encourage everybody, if you're watching this video, man, to come and visit Southeast Asia and see for yourself, okay? But come with respect, all right? Emphasis on respect. Make sure you come, respect the culture, respect the people, and you will receive that same respect back, all right? The people, the food, the culture, Everything is amazing, okay? So if you were looking for a sign, this is your sign. Now, if you have any questions, drop a comment. I'm answering all questions, man. Whether I answer it in the comment section or whether I answer it in a future video, I'm answering all questions, man. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Let me know what kind of content you guys want to see, and I'll get that to y'all, man. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch up with y'all later. All right.